Welcome to today's episode of Empowered Divorce Decisions, where we share the information and resources to help you feel empowered to make those really critical decisions in your divorce and move forward to your next chapter with confidence. I'm Alina Cannon. I'm a private wealth advisor and a divorce financial planner at Archer Bridge Advisors. Today, we have a very special guest, Christine Hissong, and Christine is here to discuss the benefits of conflict coaching in divorce to support successful resolution. Christine is a family law attorney, a certified mediator, and a certified coach. She is the founder of Positive Pathways, a holistic practice that offers family law and coaching services in Northern Virginia. Hi, Christine.
Good morning. How are you?
Thank you so much for being here, Christine. So to kick it off, we would love to hear from you, really the basics. So what is conflict coaching and how does conflict coaching help in divorce?
Yeah, sure. Love to talk about that. So in conflict coaching, I'm working with my clients one-on-one. And through that coaching relationship, the clients are able to gain competence and confidence in navigating and managing their conflicts and their disputes. I use a very specific model of conflict coaching. It's called the synergy model. And through that model, we explore, triggers, boundaries, reactions, when boundaries are being crossed, internal and external reactions. We explore that for both the client and for the other party. And by doing this, we create mutuality, and that really helps clients get a better understanding or better insight about themselves, about the other party, and about the situation. And that's where they gain that competence and confidence in navigating their conflict. And so this helps in divorce, of course, because when you have that confidence and that competence in having difficult conversations, it's going to help you to be more productive in whatever divorce process you're using.
Absolutely. Can you help drill a little bit down further? So, really specifically for managing the emotional toll of divorce. So, what advice do you have for managing that emotional toll in divorce? And how can somebody that's going through divorce really like stay focused on that target, really the constructive, effective resolution, working towards that next chapter, right? Amid all the emotional challenges during divorce, because divorce is a very emotional time.
Right. It is very emotional. And those emotions quite often get in the way of resolution, and being productive in a process. And, because during the divorce process, there's a lot of fear, there's uncertainty, a lot of distrust. And that really, again, gets in the way of being productive. And so even people with the best intentions of wanting to resolve their divorce case productively, they really get stuck. And so again, it is learning those skills and growing that confidence to have difficult conversations, to really address the issues head on, to feel confident in saying what you need. And also there's an aspect of compromise, of course, when you're trying to resolve a case outside of court. And so, parties are really learning more about themselves and about the situation and about the other person. And they're learning what compromise they can tolerate, what compromise is still good for them, or still, where they can still maintain their well-being.
Mentioned boundaries, and I'd love to like drill down into that like a little bit further, and boundaries and triggers. And do you have any recommendations on how somebody going through divorce can really like set those effective boundaries to protect their well-being in divorce, but like also on maintaining that balance where they're still effectively engaging in those really necessary negotiations in divorce
Mhm.
in support of reaching that resolution to move forward?
Yeah. Yeah, so one of the problems for, for us, for everyone, is really identifying what your needs are and what your boundaries are. What boundaries do you need, and what happens, how do you react when the boundaries are crossed? Because inevitably that's going to happen. And so it's really, you're not being able necessarily to prevent that, but it is, how will you respond and how will you react? And what is the best way for you to do that? And so again, in conflict coaching, it's a wonderful, process to go through alongside your divorce process. So you are discovering for yourself, what is it that I need? What are my boundaries? How can I myself honor my boundaries, and how can I express those to the other people, the other party, the attorneys, whoever's assisting me in my case. And in the event that a boundary is crossed, how do I want to react? And sometimes it's looking at, how did I react in other situations, and did that work for me or not? And if not, we're really wanting to look at how would you want to react, and what's going to be better for you, and how do you, remain accountable for that to yourself, really, to honor those boundaries.
Absolutely. And then in cases when there are children involved, what strategies do you recommend for attempting to co-parent effectively
Yeah, yeah.
during the divorce, working towards strategies for after the divorce that really help minimize the conflict um, for both parties involved, but also more importantly for the well-being of the children.
Mhm. Right. So, with so much going on, sometimes it's easy for people to lose sight of really
Yeah.
where their focus should be. And so, of course, overall, both parties looking to the well-being of their children, that really should be the focus. And but easier said than done sometimes. And so, you might need some help doing that. And during the divorce process, during the separation, even before people actually, enter into a divorce process, when they're thinking about, separating, or they're starting to move in that direction, that is really the time to really start focusing on, what do our children need, and how can we be the best parents we can be to them. And so conflict coaching, going into conflict coaching as co-parents, is really helpful. And when I'm working with co-parents in, conflict coaching and co-parent facilitation, I'm working one-on-one with each of the parents to help them explore and develop those skills that we talked about earlier, that we develop during conflict coaching. And then we come together in joint sessions, and they're able to work together on parenting issues that may come up, and they're working together more productively because they're building those skills. And that, again, is, before, during, and after, continuing after the divorce process. And that's where you're going to really help your children transition to to this new reality, in a healthful and, stable way.
Absolutely. I'm the biggest proponent of when when appropriate, really getting that professional expertise, that professional guidance, especially when it involves like the children, to minimize conflict or at least help work through conflict effectively and teach children similarly like how to effectively work through conflict.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's great modeling for the kids, and they see their parents working together and being productive.
Absolutely. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you, Christine, so much for sharing your expertise, for shedding light on the benefit of conflict coaching to help reach a successful resolution in divorce.
Thanks so much, Alina. I really appreciated being here and talking with you today, and just thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. We'll include Christine's contact details in the video notes. Feel free to reach out to Christine or myself if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to stay subscribed to stay empowered in your divorce. Thank you.